I moved the bouquet of roses to my other hand as I drove into the parking lot of Sarah's company. It has been 20 years. I have been married to Sarah for 2 decades now. I still feel happy and excited when I think about surprising her. The flowers were very expensive. They were her Ecuadorian roses, but I thought she was worth it. She deserves the flowers and even more for being with me all these years. The white roses were a small thing to show her how much I care about Sarah. The parking lot was really full on this Thursday afternoon. I had to drive to Times before I found a spot near the back of the parking lot, which was weird. Sarah always made sure to keep spaces open for visitors near the front door. As I walked towards the building, I saw the employees standing around in groups. Some of them were smoking, and others were just talking really quietly. The employees of the company were not smiling. The parking lot and the people in it looked really strange. I saw the employees of the company. They looked very serious. That is when I saw the sign that made my stomach feel like it was falling all the way down to my shoes. Notice of closure, all assets frozen by court order, by order of the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware. The red letters looked like they were beating against the background. I read the words 3 times because I was sure I was getting it wrong. This had to be a mistake. Sarah's company was doing well. Last month, she told me that her company landed a big contract with a Fortune 500 company. We had a party with champagne to celebrate Sarah's company. Sarah's company was really successful. I was happy for her. 2 men were carrying a desk through the doors. They were not security guards, I figured out. They had jackets with asset recovery written on the back. Behind these asset recovery people, a young woman from the marketing department was crying on her cell phone with black makeup running down her face. The guard stopped me when I got to the door. "You cannot go there," he told me. I was trying to get in. The guard would not let me. The guard said this as I was walking up to the entrance. I told him that my wife is the CEO. The words felt weird when I said them. Her name is Sarah Mitchell. I need to see Sarah Mitchell. He looked at the flowers that I was holding. I saw something change in the way he looked at me. "You need to go to the floor," he said. "But first, the people who work with the bankruptcy trustee need to see your name on a piece of paper, so you have to sign in with them." The lobby was a mess. There were boxes. Over the place, computers were being labeled, and people were making lists of them, and employees were carrying their personal things in big boxes. The weird art that Sarah had picked out for the walls was already taken down. You could see where it used to be, because the paint was a little lighter there. I signed my name to whatever papers they gave me, and my hand was shaking a bit. When I did it, the elevator ride was really long. It felt like it took forever. At every floor we stopped at, I looked out the glass doors, saw the same thing. Boxes everywhere, people crying, and men and women in suits walking around with clipboards. They were making a list of all the things that people had worked for. It was all being taken away. The elevator ride felt eternal. I saw more boxes, more tears, and more people in suits, with clipboards taking inventory of dreams being dismantled at each floor we passed. Sarah's office door was open. I could see her through the glass wall, sitting at her conference table with 3 men in suits. There were papers and notes over the place. She was still being the CEO. Her back was straight, her hands were. She had that calm face on. I know Sarah. I saw her playing with her wedding ring. Her jaw was shaking a bit. She looked up when I knocked on the door. For a moment, she was not able to hide how she really felt. I saw that she was tired, really scared, and something else was there too. Maybe she was feeling ashamed. She had this look of shame on her face. It was pretty clear that the woman was struggling with her emotions, specifically with shame and fear and exhaustion, and I could see the shame in her eyes. "David?" She jumped up fast and almost spilled her coffee all over the place. "What is David doing here?" I held up the roses. I felt really silly. Is this an anniversary? One of the lawyers cleared his throat. Mrs. Mitchell, we really need to finish reviewing these documents, he said in a voice, looking at Mrs. Mitchell with a lot of patience. The lawyer was getting a little anxious because they had to finish reviewing the documents. The documents were very important. The lawyer did not want to rush through them. He wanted to make sure that Mrs. Mitchell understood everything in the documents. Give me 5 minutes, she said in a firm tone, the kind of tone that her position as CEO demanded. She took my hand, walked me to a corner of her office. This was enough away from the lawyers, but they could still see us. I said to them, "How long?" I asked this quietly. She did not meet my eyes. It has been 6 months, 7 months. The problem started with supply chain issues. Then our biggest client pulled out. I kept thinking that I could fix the problem, that I could turn the business around if I just worked harder, found investors. For the business, the company, my company. 6 months, I said. The roses felt really heavy in my hand. You have been carrying this around for 6 months. You did not tell me about the roses? I did not want you to worry. You were dealing with your dad's health issues, then the stress of your job. I thought I could handle the problem by myself. I thought I could protect you from all of this. I wanted to keep you safe from this because you were already going through a time with your dad's health and your job. I put the roses on her desk. This was the desk that would likely belong to someone by the next day. Then I pulled her into my arms. At first, she did not want to be close to me. Then she fell against me, and I could feel her body relaxing. The roses were still on her desk, and I thought about the roses and how they would probably still be there tomorrow. She would not be there to see the roses. The company is going to take everything from us, she said in a very quiet voice. The cars and our money. I used all of it to try and save the company. I am sorry, David. I am really sorry, David. The lawyers were acting like they were not looking at us. They were moving papers around, trying to look very focused. I could see people who work there walking out with boxes. They had lost their jobs because of something my wife had done. It was a risk she took. Hey, I said, tilting her chin up. Look at me. We're not losing everything. I'm right here. The Thai food was getting cold in the passenger seat. The traffic on the 405 was not moving at all. I left my office early. I told them I had a dentist appointment just so I could surprise Lisa with lunch from her restaurant. Lisa has been working a lot of hours lately. I thought she could use some Thai food, specifically pad Thai, and some time with her husband. That is me, her husband. I wanted to be with Lisa and make her happy. The Thai food, pad Thai, was getting cold. I was getting worried that it would not be good when I got to see Lisa. I got to the parking garage. It felt weird. The security booth, where Carl always sits and he knows my name, had 2 security guards in it. They were wearing uniforms. They looked at my identification closely, like I was trying to get into a super secure place. The security guards looked at my identification like I was trying to break into the parking garage. The Fort Knox. I am here to see Lisa Chen. She is the executive officer of this company. I am the husband of Lisa Chen. They looked at each other, then made a phone call before they waved me through. That was really weird. Things started to get really strange when I got to the front of the building. The shiny silver letters that used to say Innovate Solutions were no longer there. For the 8 years, that is what it said. Now a huge new sign was up that said, Welcome to Megacorp Industries, a tech company. I was surprised to see that Innovate Solutions was gone and Megacorp Industries was in its place. The new sign was big. It was clear that Megacorp Industries was now the name of the company, and it was also a part of Tech Company. I was standing there with the takeout bag in my hand, feeling like a fool. I read the sign 3 times. I thought to myself, did I really drive to the building? Then I thought, No, this is the right place. The fountain in the courtyard was the one, and the weird sculpture was still there, the one that Lisa always said looked like a giraffe that was constipated. The takeout bag was still in my hand, and I was trying to figure out what to do with the takeout bag. The sign on the building was the same, and the address was the same, so I knew I was in the place with my takeout bag. The lobby was a mess. There were movers over the place putting in new furniture and hanging up new artwork. The receptionist that I had known for a time was not there anymore, and instead there was a new woman wearing a Megacorp blazer. She looked at me in a mean way like I did not belong there. The Megacorp woman seemed serious and did not smile at all. I said that I need to see Lisa Chen. I'm sorry. Who? The CEO. Lisa Chen. She typed something into her computer. I do not show any Lisa Chen in our directory. Are you sure you have the right company with the name of the company being the one that Lisa Chen is supposed to be at? My phone started ringing. I got a message from Lisa that said, I heard you are in the lobby. You should come up to my place. The code for the elevator is 9999. The elevator ride felt really weird. At each floor, I could see things changing. The Innovate Solutions logos were being taken down. The Megacorp branding was going up. The employees looked like they were in shock as people in suits they did not know took over their office space. The Innovate Solutions logos were. The Megacorp branding was everywhere. LISA's office, which was not really her office anymore, was partly packed up. There were boxes over the place. Her awards and diplomas were down from the walls. Her old typewriters, the ones she really liked, were already wrapped up in bubble wrap. Lisa was standing with her back to me looking out the window at the city. She had worked hard to get this view, working long days and giving up her weekends. I said slowly, how about a surprise lunch? I was holding up the bag. It was a surprise lunch. She turned around. I did not see the stress that I thought I would see. Instead, she was smiling. This was not the smile that she uses when she is being the CEO of the company. That smile is like a shield that she wears during meetings. This smile wasn't one. She was really smiling. Perfect timing, she said. I am really hungry. I could use some good news right about now. Even if it is something like pad thai, that would be great. Lisa, what on earth happened? The sign outside, the company is being taken over. She took the bag and started taking things out of it on her desk. There was not much on her desk because she had cleaned it a bit. Megacorp has been trying to buy us for months. They finally did something about it night. We had a meeting with the people in charge at 3 a.m. By 6 a.m, everything was settled. Megacorp owns our company now. They own everything that belongs to our company. You are the CEO of the company. Do you not have a say in what happens? She laughed. It was not a mean laugh. She said this all happened already. They got their own people to be in charge now. I am officially done working, as if she looked at her watch 2 hours ago. They are giving me the rest of the day to get my things and leave. The company is giving me the day to clear out my desk and everything. The new leadership team is taking over, and I am done. I am finished. The company is done with me. I sink into one of Lisa's chairs. Lisa, I am really sorry. This is a deal. I mean, you started this company from scratch. Lisa, I know. She gave me chopsticks. Started eating her pad thai with a lot of excitement. You want to know something crazy, though? When they told her the news, her first thought was not that she was angry or sad. Her first thought was that she felt relieved. She felt relieved when they told her the news about the pad thai. Relief. She nodded, with her mouth full of noodles. David, I have been really unhappy for 2 years. Maybe it is 3 years now. I do not like all the board meetings and the quarterly targets and the constant pressure to make the company grow. I started this company because I loved figuring out problems and making things. Somewhere Along the way, I started spending all my time going to meetings and looking at spreadsheets. I feel like I am just going to meetings all the time, and I am just looking at spreadsheets all the time. The company is what I am talking about. I built the company because I loved solving problems and creating something. Now the company is making me unhappy. You never said anything to me. I was waiting for you to say something. You never did say anything. I do not know how I could do that. Everyone was really proud of me. My parents were proud. You were proud. All of our friends were proud. They would always say Lisa, the CEO. It started to feel like that was who I was of just something I did. She put down her food, took my hand. Do you remember that idea we used to talk about about the food truck? It was going to be called Lisa's Dumplings. That was just pillow talk. Was it really, though? Her eyes were really bright now. They were alive in a way that I had not seen in a long time. I thought about this for a moment. She said I have a severance package from my job. We have some savings, too. What if we actually did this thing? We could start small work together and make something with our hands instead of just our email signatures on things. I looked at my wife, the former CEO, sitting in her half-dismantled office eating takeout Thai food, and saw the woman I'd fallen in love with 15 years ago, the dreamer, not the executive. The German chocolate cake was really something. It had 3 layers, coconut pecan frosting, and Happy 40th Rebecca, written on it in writing. I drove all the way across town to get it from her bakery, the same one that made her birthday cakes when she was little. My plan was to surprise German chocolate cake lover Rebecca at work, sing a version of Happy Birthday in front of all her coworkers, and show Rebecca that turning 40 is not so bad. When you have a husband like me who loves Rebecca and is willing to make a fool of myself to make German chocolate cake lover Rebecca happy. I had been to Rebecca's office twice in the 5 years since she took the CEO position at Biopharma Solutions. Rebecca always said the place was boring. She would say it was just test tubes and spreadsheets. She called me honey when she said it, and she insisted on keeping work and her home life separate. I respected that. I really admired Rebecca for doing that. Too many of our friends let their work consume their marriages. That is really sad. Rebecca did not want that to happen to her. I thought that was great. Birthdays are really days. Birthdays are the kind of thing that deserves to be treated. I was following the GPS. It took me to this industrial place that I had never seen before. The whole area was made of concrete, had chain link fences all around. I checked the address that she had given me a time ago to make sure I was in the right place. This was the address, but the GPS location looked totally different from what I thought it would be. The global positioning system had brought me to this complex, not the nice corporate campus that I had pictured in my mind. The industrial complex was very different from the campus I had imagined. With all its concrete and chain-link fencing, it was not what I expected from the global positioning system location. The first checkpoint should have been my clue. It was a checkpoint with guards and a big metal gate that opened and closed. The people there looked at my identification, made phone calls, and stared at me like I was trying to get into Fort Knox with a birthday cake. They did not seem to believe I was supposed to be. The first checkpoint really should have been my clue about what was going on at Fort Knox. I am here to see Rebecca Morrison. She is the chief executive officer of this company. Today is a day for Rebecca Morrison. It is her birthday. I want to wish Rebecca Morrison a birthday. I got phone calls. People gave me suspicious looks. Then they told me to go to a building. It looked like a bunker. The building really looked like a bunker. That is when I saw the sign. Biopharma Solutions. Level for biosecurity clearance required. Authorized personnel only. Deadly force authorized. Deadly force? At a pharmaceutical company? The lobby was really different from any company entrance I had seen before. There were metal detectors and body scanners and guards with guns. A woman wearing a hazmat suit walked by me like it was no deal. The receptionist was sitting behind a piece of bulletproof glass. "I am here to see Rebecca Morrison," I said, "and I feel silly standing here with a birthday cake. In a place that looks like a military base. Is the woman expecting you to show up?" "No, it's a surprise. I'm her husband." The receptionist's eyes got really big. "She said her husband? Please wait here, sir." She walked through a security door, left me standing there feeling like a fool. The cake I was holding was getting really heavy. Other people who worked there went through security. They swiped their badges, which looked like they had security features than my passport, and they even got their eyes scanned. What kind of company that makes medicine needs to scan people's eyes? Like that. 20 minutes later, Rebecca showed up. She was with two men who were wearing suits. They looked like agents. Rebecca had on a lab coat that I had never seen her wear before. The lab coat had symbols on it, and her name was stitched on it. Below her name it said Project Director. Classified. The men in suits were standing on either side of Rebecca. "Tom?" She looked really scared. Her face was pale. "What is Tom doing here?" She wanted to know what Tom was doing at her place. "Happy birthday." One held up the cake. It was a little weak. I was really hoping to surprise the birthday person. I wanted to make this birthday special, so I got a cake and everything. Now I was waiting to see what they would say about my birthday surprise. One of the agents said something. "Ma'am, the man is not allowed in this facility. He is breaking an important rule." She said this in a voice. "Tom, you have to come with us." I was taken to a conference room that felt like a room where people get questioned. A cake was sitting on the metal table between us. It looked really happy in a place that felt cold and empty. The people who brought us there walked out. They stayed right outside the door, made of glass. "Rebecca, what the hell is this place?" She would not look at me. She said, "It is complicated. This is really scary. There are symbols all over the place. I see armed guards walking around. I even saw a person wearing a hazmat suit. You said your company was a pharmaceutical company. The pharmaceutical company you work for does not seem normal to me. The pharmaceutical company is supposed to be a place. I know what I told you." She spoke quietly. I could not say anything. "Tom, I have been working on a project with the government for 3 years now. This project is secret. I was not allowed to talk about it. I was doing classified research. I legally could not tell you about the classified research I was doing." "Classified research? What kind of—" She said, "I do not know if I can tell you that either." Then she laughed in a sad way. "I do not know if I can tell you what I do for 8 hours every day. I do not know if I can tell you the reason I went to Atlanta last month. I do not know if I can tell you why Atlanta and my job and things like that make me stay awake at night when I should be sleeping." Things were starting to make sense. I remember the phone calls my wife would get, and she would go to the garage to answer them. She had these called conferences where she had to give up her personal phone. My wife's friends had just stopped calling us all of a sudden. I said this slowly. Our social circle is what I was talking about. The Johnsons just picked up, moved away all of a sudden. The Perezes stopped having their dinner parties. That was not a coincidence, was it? Our social circle is really different now. She shook her head. I do background checks on people. Anyone who gets too close to me has to go through this. Some people do not pass the background checks. These people get discouraged from staying in touch with me. Background checks are very important to me. Jesus Christ, Rebecca, our entire life is a lie. This is not our life, she said really fast. Just this one part. Everything else is true. Our marriage is real. Our love is real too. Is it really true? I do not understand how this can be real when you have been telling me lies for 3 years. You have been lying to me for such a time, So how can I believe you now? I am talking about the lies. You told me the same lies that you have been telling me for 3 years. I was telling the truth when I said that. My intention was to keep you safe. The thing is, the information you have about something, the better it is for you. I mean, you know about this, the safer you will be. I stared at the woman I'd married 12 years ago, shared a bed with, planned a future with, and realized I had no idea who she really was anymore. The cake between us seemed to mock the normalcy we'd never have again. The champagne bottle made a sound against my wedding ring as I held it tightly, trying to walk normally through the parking garage. It was a Dom Perignon 2008, the kind of champagne we drank on our wedding night. When Melissa sent me a text message about getting the Samsung contract, I knew I had to get something. This was a deal for her company. It would make her company really big and important. The Dom Perignon champagne was for occasions like this. I got it because regular champagne was not good enough for something big, as the Samsung contract. This contract would change her company from a startup to a big company that everyone knows. I left work early. I told my team that I had a doctor's appointment. The plan was really simple. I would surprise her. I would pop the cork. We would celebrate like we used to do when her victories felt like our victories. The elevator, from the parking garage and into a crazy scene. The parking garage elevator the doors opened into chaos. People were running around. It was very loud. The chaos was coming from the side of the doors of the parking garage elevator. The lobby that I had walked through times before was completely different now. There were camera crews, over-the-place reporters holding microphones, and photographers trying to get the best spot. Someone had put up lights that made the lobby look like a place where they make movies. The lobby, which is usually very quiet and calm, was changed by these lights into something that looked like a production. The lobby was not the same as I remembered it. That is when I saw the banner stretched across the reception area. Congratulations to our Chief Executive Officer, Time Magazine's Person of the Year. I was standing there with a glass of champagne in my hand, trying to make sense of what I was looking at. Person of the Year, that is what it said. I was wondering when this all happened. I could not believe that my own wife was on the cover of Time Magazine, and I had no idea about it. Time Magazine, I mean. That is a deal. My wife was really going to be on the cover of Time Magazine. The lady stood next to me. Said, "Excuse me, sir, are you with one of the news crews?" She was a woman, and she had a headset on her head and a clipboard in her hand. "No, I am here to see Melissa. I want to see Melissa Chang." She looked at me with an empty expression. "The CEO," I said. "I am her husband." Her face changed to a look, then it looked like she felt sorry for Mr. Chang. "Oh, Mr. Chang. She is doing a CNN interview now. After that, she has to talk to BBC at 3:30. Then she has a meeting with the Time photographer at 4. Did you have a meeting set up with her?" "An appointment to see my wife." I said that I will wait. She took me to a corner where I could see into the meeting room. Melissa was sitting there. The light was shining on her just right. Her makeup looked great. Her clothes were perfect for being on camera. Someone who knew what they were doing must have helped her pick out that outfit. She was talking with a lot of energy about innovation and sustainable technology. It was weird. She looked like a different person, but she was still wearing my wife Melissa's face. When did she get training for being on television and stuff? She was doing a job on camera, like a professional, talking about things I had never heard her say before. The person asking her questions wanted to know about her ideas for artificial intelligence, and she answered very easily, like she had said it all before. The interviewer was really interested in her approach to AI integration, and she talked about that too. I got out my phone, searched for her name on Google. The things I found really shocked me. There were articles about her in Forbes and Fortune and the Wall Street Journal. All of these were from the 6 months She was giving talks at Davos, doing TED Talks, and she even had a book coming out soon. How did I not know about any of this? I was looking at all the things she had been doing. I could not believe I had missed her name in Forbes and her name in Fortune and her name in the Wall Street Journal. I knew what was going on. My husband and I had been living lives for a long time. We would see each other at home. It was like we were just passing by. We would leave notes for each other on the kitchen counter. He would write things like I'm working late or I have an early meeting. I would write, do not wait up for me. When was the last time my husband? I had dinner together without one of us looking at emails on our phone? My husband and I had not done that in a time. The CNN interview was over, and then Melissa was surrounded by people who took care of her. I do not know when she got these people to help her. They quickly took her to the place she had to go. She did not even look at me. I thought about our conversation that morning. I mentioned the Samsung contract. I was really excited for her. She said something about it being nice. She was busy looking at her phone. Now it makes sense to me. The Samsung contract is not that important compared to whatever got her on the cover of Time magazine. She did not forget to talk about the magazine. She probably thought I already knew about it. Why would I not know? It seems like everyone else already knew about it. Mr. Chang? The assistant was back. She's free for a while at 5:15, Mr. Chang. You can see her then, Mr. Chang, because she has a 15-minute break. At that time, slot me in, like a business meeting. I said no. That is okay. I looked at her for a while longer. She was laughing at something the BBC interviewer said. It was that laugh she uses in public now. You know, the one she learned somewhere. It is not funny laugh she used to do the one that would make me love her all over again. This laugh is different. It is the kind of laugh she does now, the kind that's polite and proper. The BBC interviewer said something. She laughed, but it was not the same as it used to be. I remember when she would laugh, and it would sound like she was snorting. That was the laugh that I loved. The laugh she does now is the kind of laugh people do when they want to be not the kind of laugh that comes from deep inside. The champagne feels silly now. What am I even celebrating? This contract of mine, it seems small compared to all the other things she has done. It is a success that she did not think was important enough to tell me about, because we do not talk about things that matter anymore. The contract, it is a contract, and it feels like nothing special now. I left the bottle with the receptionist. I said to the receptionist, this is for Melissa. I also told the receptionist to tell Melissa congratulations. I was sitting in my car outside for a long time. Then my phone started buzzing because I got a text message from her. The message said, sorry I had a day. Can we have dinner sometime? I have leftover food in the fridge from before. I looked at the message. I was trying to think about when we had ordered Chinese food. Was it 3 days ago or 4 days ago? The refrigerator was the way we talked to each other now. My husband and I would leave notes for each other on the fridge. It was like our marriage was a bunch of leftovers. The Chinese food was leftover. Our marriage was leftover. The drive home was quiet. The house would be quiet too, just me and the Chinese takeout, and the growing realization that I was married to a stranger who happened to be Person of the Year.